Meantime, we're following more breaking news, this time in the retrial of the man accused of intentionally setting the Palisades Fire. Moments ago, prosecutors announced revised charges against Jonathan Rinderknecht. NBC4's Eric Leonard has more on the charges and what it could mean for this case. Eric.
Yeah, this is something of an expected update to the criminal case that Jonathan Rinderknecht will face at this second trial. You'll remember the first trial ended with a mistrial in June. The couple of jurors that we heard from said they were not convinced that prosecutors had shown sufficient evidence to convict on any of the three charges. So prosecutors have filed a superseding indictment, a revision of the charges, ahead of a status conference in the case that was set for next Wednesday. And it does a couple of things that are significant. For one, it drops one of the three counts. Count 3 is gone. That was a federal charge that alleged the wording of the federal criminal charge is timber set afire that was related to the damage that had been caused by the Palisades Fire. That's gone. The remaining two counts are somewhat different. In the first trial, count 1, which sometimes was referred to as the ignition charge, was the allegation that Jonathan Rinderknecht had caused the Palisades Fire by means of igniting the first of the two fires called the Lackman Fire. And during the trial, the prosecution tried to convince jurors that this was all one big fire. You'll remember the allegation against Rinderknecht is that he lit, allegedly, the first fire, the Lackman Fire, which burned on January 1st and was quickly put out. But experts from the ATF testified it smoldered underground and then reignited in those enormous winds on January 7th, causing the Palisades Fire. Well, now the count 1 only focuses on the Lackman Fire, a fire that the feds didn't even want to refer to by name during the first trial. Again, they wanted these two fires to be seen by the jurors as one single event. And so that leaves count 2 now to be entirely the damage and destruction caused by the Palisades Fire. It remains to be seen how the prosecution will adjust its presentation of the evidence. Our understanding is it's going to be much of the same information, but oftentimes after a first trial, and you see the response from the jury, the prosecution and the defense, for that matter, may revise or refine the way they present this material to the jurors, hoping, of course, for a different outcome. That retrial scheduled to begin in September, but anything could happen at this hearing next week now that there's a different set of charges that they want to proceed with.
Eric, thank you so much.